You know that feeling when a project finally comes to life? The big launch, the reveal, it's awesome. But what if I told you the most important moment, the one that really decides if a project lives or dies, happens way before any of that? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on project planning. This is the invisible blueprint behind every single great achievement.
So just how important is it? Well, according to the Project Management Institute, nearly half, that's right, 50%, of all the work in a project's entire life happens right here, in the planning phase. Think about that. So much of the heavy lifting is done before the real work even kicks off.
And this isn't just about filling out forms, okay? This is the strategic command center. A brilliant plan is literally your map to victory. A weak one, well, that's a one-way ticket to failure. This is where the whole game is won or lost.
So, who's in charge of this whole expedition? Well, every good story needs a hero, right? And in the world of projects, that hero is the project manager. They're the captain of the ship, the master strategist, the one person who guides this thing from just an idea all the way to a finished reality.
And man, talk about responsibility. The PM doesn't just chip in, they guide the entire end-to-end process. And that last part says it all. If things go south, the project manager is the one on the hook. The buck stops right there. That's some serious pressure.
First up, it's all about the people. A project's nothing without a great team. The PM has to get the right experts in the room, make sure they actually have the skills and the time to do the job, and, this part's huge, make sure everyone's voice is actually heard during the planning.
And then, of course, there's the plan itself. The PM is the architect here, drawing up the blueprint. But they're also kind of like a coach, supporting the team, knocking down any roadblocks that get in the way, and making sure every piece of the puzzle has the right person assigned to it. And maybe most importantly, they get everyone to agree to the plan before anything starts. All right, we've got our leader. Now let's get into what they're actually creating, the master plan. And it all really boils down to three absolute cornerstones. And here they are: scope, schedule, and budget. The best way to think about this is like a three-legged stool. Scope is what you're going to build, schedule is when you're going to have it done, and budget is, you guessed it, how much it's all going to cost. If any one of those legs get shaky, the whole thing just collapses.
So, where do you even start? Here's the number one rule. You always start by planning for the full ideal scope, the whole dream. You don't start by cutting corners. You plan for the best case scenario, even if you know you're probably going to have to negotiate some things down the road.
And that, my friends, leads us to the biggest challenge of them all. The classic problem every single project manager runs into. What do you do when that big, beautiful scope you plan for just doesn't fit into the time or the money you have? This is where a PM really earns their paycheck.
And that brings us to a legendary concept called the Iron Triangle. It's a classic for a reason. See, scope, time, and cost are all locked together. You literally can't change one of them without affecting the other two. It's like a law of physics for projects. You can't break it. So it becomes this constant balancing act. You have a stakeholder who wants more features, more scope, fine, but you got to show them it's going to take more time or cost more money. They need it done faster? Okay, we can do that, but we'll have to cut some features or find more money for the budget. The PM is the chief negotiator in this game.
So after all that back and forth, once you've found that perfect balance and the project sponsor gives the final thumbs up, that plan gets locked in. That specific version of the scope, schedule, and budget becomes what we call the project baseline. From here on out, that's your measuring stick for everything.
But hey, a great project is more than just those three things. Now we need to talk about all the support plans that give the project its strength, kind of like its immune system. These are the plans behind the plan.
See, it's not just one big plan. It's a whole collection of them. You need a plan for quality to make sure what you build is actually good. A plan for resources, so you have the people and tools you need. Communications, so everyone stays in the loop. Risk, so you're ready for what might go wrong. Procurement, for anything you have to buy. And stakeholder engagement, to keep all the important people happy. It's a whole 360-degree strategy.
Let's just touch on a couple of these. Resource planning is kind of like being a chef for a huge banquet. It's not just about having the ingredients, it's about having them all prepped and ready to go at the exact moment you need them.
And risk management? That's all about playing chess, not checkers. It means thinking 5 moves ahead, imagining every possible thing that could derail your project, and having a counter move ready before it even happens. It's the project's secret weapon, for sure.
Okay, The master plan is done. The support systems are all in place. We are officially on the launch pad, and the final countdown is about to begin. It's time to get that final green light and get the team ready for liftoff.
So the project manager takes everything we've talked about, all those plans, and bundles them up into one final project management plan. This is it. This is what gets presented to the sponsor for the official sign-off. And if the PM did a good job keeping them in the loop, this moment should feel like a victory lap.
And once that approval comes through, it is time for the kickoff meeting. And listen, this is not just another boring meeting. This is the moment you officially flip the switch from planning to doing. The goal is simple, but so powerful. Get the entire team fired up, on the same page, and completely committed.
And a great kickoff always covers these 6 key things. You start with the why, the real purpose behind the project. You confirm the scope and timeline so everybody knows the mission. You talk about the risks so everyone knows what to watch out for. You clarify who does what, you define the tools you'll be using, and you end by getting that final unified "let's do this" from the whole team.
So, what's the bottom line here? First, remember that planning isn't just a warm-up. It's pretty much half the battle. Second, the project manager is the one person who's ultimately accountable for the whole journey. Third, success is all about that delicate balancing act of the iron triangle. And finally, a great kickoff meeting is the launch button that gets the whole team moving in the right direction.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Your beautiful plan is signed, sealed, and delivered. The team is pumped. You're ready to go. Now, what's the very first danger you're going to be watching for? What's that first risk lurking in the shadows that's going to test your perfect plan? Because that's where the real adventure begins.